side.
Yeah.
The least that you can do is help them fight in court. The least that you can do. When you go back to your one-bedroom apartment that costs $1,700 in Denver, right? Like, look, we know what it is too, right? I get when we're working class folks, it seems like it's a little bit harder. But I hope that you know that it wasn't too long ago that for 12 years folks didn't eat grapes because they didn't want farm workers sprayed with pesticides in California.
Yeah.
I hope that you know that Starbucks is on their knees because we told to stop going because we don't agree with genocide. I hope that you know that not spending your money in places that aren't interested in hiring people like us is having a material impact on the future of our economic conditions, so that those things are not beholden to billionaire investors, but instead the working class people who actually shop and buy their products. Do we know that? And to close, because I can get on a soapbox, you feel me?
Come on, man.
But I'm a teacher. You can't give a teacher a microphone, you feel me?
Tell it.
To close, I would offer a historical perspective. That this is not the first time that the United States has enacted mass deportations of people who look like me, who got last names like mine. Folks that are undocumented might be whatever version that the United States has turned into a boogeyman now. That's Jeanette. That's Kilmar Abrego Garcia. That's Mahmoud Khalil.
Right.
That's all kinds of different folks. And I hope that you know that as much as we are against a deportation machine and we are pro-immigrants, that's not just a Latino issue either.
Right.
We're against any deportation of any immigrant from any place in the world, because the historical perspective teaches us that there's not shit that's romantic about having to pick up your family and march across a continent so that you can possibly pay enough money to put food on the table. That is a direct consequence from the United States imperial colonial policies in places like Guatemala, in places like Venezuela, in places like El Salvador, in places like Palestine, in places like Congo, in places like Sudan, in places all over this world. You cannot just take an ahistorical perspective and say, I'm against it because of this one person. You have to know your ideology, your finances, all of this. When you go home today, when you paid taxes last week, you paid more for Bob's in Palestine than you did for healthcare of undocumented people here today. You paid more to keep people locked up in cages. You paid more. That's on you. That's on me. And so I hope that more than anything, you can have ideological purity. You can have financial purity. I hope that you have moral clarity that admits the two simultaneous truths. That as an American, as somebody who lives here, who's at this protest today, that you have a responsibility not just to confront this when it feels easy, but to be especially disciplined when it's hard.
Right.
To be especially disciplined when it's hard.
Right.
When it's not popular. There's a lot of folks out here. This is not the first time that the United States has done this. Know about what they did to braceros. Know what they did to Mexican citizens where they deported them post the United States intervening in World War II. I see the word Gestapo. Let's remember, the German Gestapo was based upon the United States' invention of the FBI. That's how it works. It started here with the same group of people who are complicit in the same ways. And so the question before us comes to what are you willing to do now? Coming to a Monday vigil, buying a t-shirt is the damn least you can do.
Yeah.
That's
It's the
right.
damn least you can do. Because I hope that when you're back at your jobs, that you're working with union organizers who are making sure that undocumented people get the same workplace protections as their American counterparts.
Right.
I hope that when you're in the hospital, that you're fighting for folks that are undocumented that have the same access to healthcare as you. I hope that when you're a teacher and you're in your classroom, you're fighting for the same version of education that is fully funded for the American-born student just as much as folks who might be from a different place.
Right.
That's right.
And more importantly, to reclaim a phrase that is popular among folks on the Progressive Democratic Party right now, I hope that you're willing to fight for somebody you don't know.
That's right.
Because this is what it looks like.
Let's go.
I hope that you're not just here because you believe in free and Jeanette. I hope that you're here because you want to free them all.
That's right.
All of
Bring
them.
them up.